Okey. Silent eh?
Kita je. Kita je.
Masuk 1 minit, masuk 2 minit, aku akan buat countdown. Nanti aku akan teruskan. Countdown tu 3 minit.
Kau kasih orang ketiga ni satu. Aku cakap dengan orang kan. Sekali lagi, tadi sekali lagi 3 minit kita nak start. Aku kena tengah kan.
Dah start.
Okay, ni ready.
Dekat aku mendengar.
Okay. 1 minute.
saya ingin memperkenalkan panelis kita pada hari ini. Our first panel, Yang Segak, Yang berbahagia Datuk Abdul Malik bin Muhammad Nur, bekas jago bina Badan Negara. Next, our second panel, Senyuman Dia Manis, Yang berusaha, Encik Mandirjit Singh, bekas pemain hoki negara. Panel terakhir, tak kurang smart pada pagi ini, Yang berusaha, Encik Aminuddin bin Muhammad Nasir, bekas pelumba basikal negara. Thank you very much to all our panels kerana sudi datang ke UNIRAZAK untuk Teh Tarik Talk session kita. Razakian, bukan mudah ya untuk panelis kita datang lebih-lebih lagi norma baru ini. Hopefully all of us able to get insight and inspired from our legendary panels. Okay, I would like to start dengan our dearest Datuk Malik. Datuk, boleh ceritakan tak about your background?
First of all, I must say good morning to all the students, to the view of the at home or on the computer. My background as Ali bin Abadan as a bodybuilder and a champion for 6-time heavyweight in Asia and world finalist twice in the world. But now I'm the members of the Atlet Negara Malaysia and also a chairman for the University of Fitness Malaysia.
Datuk, that's so inspiring. Next, kita pergi kepada panel kedua kita, Encik Mandirjit Singh. What about your background? Can you enlighten us?
First of all, very good morning to everyone, especially Lisa as a host, and then Dato' Malik, my former sportsman, and then also Encik Amin, and all the crew members, and the audience, all the students, and the public. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Mandirjit Singh and also known as Mike in sporting community. I'm a former Malaysian Hockey International captain before. I played in 2 Olympics and 2 World Cup, and also Asian All-Star before, and played 297 international matches for Malaysia. And I'm very happy to be here today to share some little insight about us and about sporting in this country. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you, Encik Mandirjit. That's so inspiring, and also now we are able to know who is Encik Mandirjit Singh. And Encik Aminuddin, what about your story?
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Okay. Untuk adik-adik pun, salam perkenalan. Nama saya Aminuddin bin Muhammad Nasir. Jadi saya bekas pelumba basikal negara. Dan juga, jadi dalam dunia sukan ni, saya dah mencuburi macam-macam. Daripada seorang atlet, dari seorang pentadbir sukan, juga saya juga seorang mental trainer dalam dunia. Daripada selepas saya bekerja dengan bank, saya involved dengan all the sports sampai sekarang.
Thank you, Encik Amin. Thanks for your wonderful journey as well. Oh, just untuk info panelis kita, viewers di YouTube sudah mencecah 60. Terima kasih semua sebab masih terus bersama kami. So, jangan lupa share, like dan subscribe. Okey, Datuk. Memandangkan Datuk wakil tunggal untuk alumni Atlet Bina Badan, bagaimana Datuk boleh terlibat dengan sukan ini? And who inspired Datuk untuk mencuburi sukan ini? Can you share with us?
This is start when I was living in Hong Kong, which is 1982, which is very rare, small little knowledge about bodybuilding competition. I was doing only more for fitness, to make your body look beautiful and fit and healthy. But once I go through Singapore, which is the 1984, 1983, if I'm not mistaken, 1983, the end of December, there was a competition with Mr. Universe, Mr. World, which is representing 156 countries, including Malaysia. Once I look at the Malaysian presenter from the bodybuilding association, from the category of bantamweight and light heavyweight. There's no light heavyweight actually. There's only the middleweight, the last one. in the last category. And it's inspired me. I want to make a history in Malaysia to become the first heavyweight to represent Malaysia, not in the small game, but into the world. Then I asked one of the coaches in Singapore, which is Malaysian coaches, I said, how to represent the country. And he's very said, where you have to present the state of Johor first, or state of you come from. But of course I came from Johor. When I go back to Hong Kong, I trained 1 year, fully dedicated and fully disciplined. And from 170 kg, which my body, I go up to 190 kg, which is mostly, but this is because I have a background of physical nutrition education, Canada. It's easy for me to view my food, view my training, and plus my dedication and my inspiring myself. And actually, it's no one is really coaching me. No one is really inspiring me. No one is really put me in my mind to hit the road. But the dream I put in myself is full of expect that I want to make the best. Then I started it, and I come back to Malaysia, representing Johor. The first one was the first Open Malaysia in Terengganu. No, in Perlis. I think I think it's in Terengganu. And everybody was surprised. Then, who this guy? They thought I was Thailand because I look like a Thailand, When I won the competition, that started by 1983, if I'm not mistaken. 84. That started my career as a top bodybuilder. Then I start with the light heavyweight. Later on, after 1 year, I become the biggest monster in Malaysia. But it's all full of the dedication, because whenever you want to do in life, even a natural life or study or whatever, all is planning. All it takes planning. You plan yourself, you plan what you're eating, you plan what you're training, you plan what you're sleeping, you plan your social, you plan your total life as a sportsman.
Thank you, Datuk. That's truly inspiring and sungguh menarik ya pengalaman Datuk. And of course, our determination and focus is our number one inspiration for our own self. So next, hockey. Encik Mandirjit, can you share with us how did you start playing hockey? Encik mula dari sekolah or it's just your hobby?
Thank you, Lisa. I was born in Sentul, and it was an Indian community, and everyone other than being in school, we are always in the padangs, and in the padang we play many sports. We play soccer, we play hockey, we play cricket, and then we do some athletics, and then we do some jumping around. Then we used to watch the movie Bigfoot, and then we will go to the padang and run like a Bigfoot. So that was the community base in Sentul. And then I was studying in primary school in Sentul and also secondary school in Maxwell for 2 years. Unfortunately, my father passed away when we were in Sentul. There was a big loss to our family, and we have decided to shift. Went to a town called Kapong, and then there was a hockey school which was Sekolah Menengah Taman Esan, and they were renowned in hockey. They were district champions and state champion by then. And then I was still playing football, and then there was a hockey coach who came to me and says, hey Bhaiya, Mr. Singh, Punjabi must play hockey, not football. I said no. I say we have Santok Singh before. He said no. I say take a stick, come and play. So that was my first test. I started hockey very late, at the age of 15, getting close to 16 years old. And then I just tried the hockey, and all of a sudden I was very interested. And then the best part was watching a hockey match on TV, on RTM, the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games on the TV screen when I was Form 4. And then suddenly I says, this is a dream. I want to be an Olympian, and I want to play in Olympics because that's a dream of any athletes in the world, because that's the highest pinnacle of every sportsman wants to achieve. And he started with a dream that I want to play in Olympics, and then the next Olympics that Malaysia is supposed to participate is 92 in Barcelona, 96 in Atlanta and Sydney. Then I says it's time for me to work towards that goal, and I had a good community there, and I had a very good headmaster who provided very good high level of hockey equipment, and then I had a dedicated school coach which was Paul Raja Segret, and then I had a good gardener who was keeping the field very good linings, good balls, and we had that kind of support, and that school produced many state players and many national juniors, and to the school and all the stakeholders, and that is how I became in the national team. Obviously, I started in the junior squad, and then I made it to the senior team, and it was not an easy journey, but we have put in a lot of effort, determination, discipline, and we easily worked about close to 10 hours a day to be Olympian. That's a story on my side.
Wow, 10 hours a day. I don't think so we're able to do that. However, one thing I like to conclude from Encik Mandirjit's answer is that age is just a number for us. Okay, it's okay you start late, but then definitely you'll be someone just like our legendary panel over here. Thank you, Encik Mandirjit. Encik Aminuddin, was there any incident yang buatkan Encik menjadi cyclist?
Okay. Actually, saya sebenarnya laluan untuk sebagai seorang pelumba taklah orang kata a good path, jalan yang mudah. Sebab apa? My father is orang yang more to education, so dia memang tak minat anak-anak ni buat dengan sukan. Because sukan pada zaman dulu macam tu bukan macam sekarang. Dah tak nampak apa ni what will happen lepas tu. Banyak kan mengatakan will be satu yang laluan yang gelap. So what I did last time, I was lucky because my uncle is the first gold medalist untuk sukan lumba basikal di sukan C. Pertama kali Malaysia menang pingat emas di sukan C 1965 is my uncle Chiang. So I most of the time I stay with my yang menyebabkan I betul-betul terpikat tu because one thing about him yang I respect. Dulu RTM, dulu kita tak ada banyak channel, tak ada Astro semua. So dulu RTM start TV pukul 3. Pukul 3 start TV dengan lagu Negaraku. So bila Negaraku, everybody in the house kena beli, termasuk my grandfather, my grandmother, semua kena beli. Kalau tidak dia marah. That's one thing about my uncle. In front of the TV, macam kadang-kadang kita kata macam bodoh beli di TV, tapi that yang didik kita to be more discipline, and also it motivates. And then sometimes you will cry bila dengar lagu Negaraku, because he told us that how he struggled to orang kata to get the medal for the country. Sampai dalam so jadi jadi macam bersemangat bila kena. To be frank with you, it's not that easy untuk I jadi because I will train because my father akan pergi masjid sembahyang subuh dalam pukul 5.30 macam tu. So I will start training pukul 4 pagi. I keluar, I kayu ke my house in PJ, I will cycle all the way, sprint all the way to Kelang, I patah balik before my father pergi masjid atau my father sebelum dia balik masjid, I mesti dapat keluar. So I kena ikut time betul. So that kalau tidak dia kena kapak lah sekali. So I kena banyak menyok-nyok daripada dia. Jadi bukanlah kata I nak condemn dia, tapi as a father kan, dia orang dulu banyakkan dia orang dulu tak percaya dengan sukan. Tak macam sekarang. Sekarang sukan memang orang cakap tu dah boleh cari dari semua pendapatan dah. Kan dulu tak ada. Kebanyakan atlet dulu banyak. Because sekarang I more as a operation manager for yayasan kebajikan atlet. Jadi kalau you tengok atlet yang umur 40 tahun ke atas, agak menyedihkan lah kehidupan dia. Jadi itulah my life, how I start involved with cycling. Tapi dalam keadaan yang curi-curi, Tapi sometimes bila curi-curi itu dia lebih bersemangat. Compare dengan you dimanjakan. Alright.
Betul tu Encik Amin. And one thing, I able to conclude that family Encik Amin ni semangat patriotik. Thank you Encik Amin for your wonderful story. Viewers, masih steady ke tu? Rancak nampaknya di ruangan chat kita. Kita ada Lowishan, Syafiq, Najiha. Terima kasih kerana masih setia bersama. Viewers, kalau ada soalan untuk panelis boleh chat, boleh di chat, nanti saya tanyakan. So as usual, don't forget to share, like and subscribe for future updates. Let's move on. Saya nak tanya, pengalaman yang tak dapat dilupakan sepanjang mewakili negara. Maybe kita mulakan dengan Datuk dulu. Datuk, can you share with your journey?
My journey is quite interesting. The first time I get involved in bodybuilding as a professional competition, there was the first time I was awarded as the first Mr. Asia in Sri Lanka, first time, and which is I beat the former Mr. Universe from Iraq and Saudi Arabia. This is the conquered for me because it's a credit to my dream. First time, and all the way, and I was the heavyweight for 6 times straight in Asian competition until I go to the World Championship, which is finalist 11. And there's so much memory that I can remember, and because as one kampung boys who has a big dream come true to represent Malaysia as the heavyweight bodybuilding, which is none in history the heavyweight from Southeast Asia or Asia, which is I almost say that I'm presenting Asia into the world class. And of course, the dream is come true, and award after award, until the best thing I was awarded as the Sportman of the Year in 1985 and 86. Which is also including the best sports personality from Coca-Cola, from Benson Hedges Award, and there's a best reward that given by the government and the private swasta, and there's so many rewards I can't remember, but of course you don't give up, and one thing become the sportman. Of course, Mike, I'm chairman knows. The best thing to be best athlete is not just being a champion, being humble. And when people come to you and say, "Oh, this is Malik, and you say, "Yeah, I'm Malik, maybe surprised." And I'm most a friendly fixture in my life. My character is very friendly. I'm very jokers and everything. But in terms of life, I'm very serious. In terms of sport, I'm dedicated and putting my goal ahead, and I'm very serious. I think every athlete is all like that, So of course, athlete in Chiang is being success in cyclists, and might be success in hockey players. All take 100% dedication as a sportman. This is like Chong Wei, Nur Huda, and everybody, my batch before. We all put 100% to become successful. At that time, we don't have any facility, the modern facility like we have now. We have psychiatrists, we have nutritionists, we have nutritionists, we have the best sport complex in the world that we have. We only have certain things that we can use to make a champion. But that's why I said how lucky the sportman now to become a sportman, to involve in sport, and all facilities are available by the Committee Sukan. And MSN, even we have a doctor to look after you. But the last time we don't have. But what we have is determination. That's a purely determination what we have on the old athlete. Ask everybody, the old athlete. Of course, Santos Singh, Khalid Ali, and all these, all Thai, we call it all Thai. It's easier way to say. We have the best friendship. It's not just being a sportman. We have a friendship along the way. This is how to make the sport become glorious, happiness. We share all the things that we have, even we are different sport. We are share the communication, we share the information, we share about how we train. This thing is need to be practiced by the more athlete now, because of course we have all the sadness. Sometimes the athlete has to learn to forget. If you fail, leave it away, because when you fail, you fall, you get up. That's how you become big success in life. When you fall, you have to get down, get up by yourself. Nobody can make you up. That's a good thing about me. I'm fully 100% dedicated. Until now, I dedicated my life because I saw the questions from the student. Hey, I don't mind. I speak English.
No, I don't mind.
I can speak Japanese. But I see there's a question from the student, should I get involved in sport? Well, I said, yes, get involved in sport partly of your life. Become a student, only you're stretching yourself and study, but there's no activity, it's not good for you. But two-way involved in sport. I'm sure everybody is playing sport, but it's just a matter of fact that standard and the two different sport, being a pro involved in sport as an amateur or professional or just for fun. But I think if a student, I must say, if you have time, get involved in sport just to get a sweat, to make yourself healthy. But healthy body is a healthy mind. Thank you.
Actually, I have to agree with Dato', because the key to success is determination. Tak kisahlah kita ada kat field mana or expertise in any area, but we should 101% determine in what we are doing. And also, don't forget to be humble, just like our Dato'. And yes, he is very funny, trust me. You all come and meet him in face to face. So, seterusnya, bagaimana pula dengan Encik Aminuddin dan Encik Mandirji? Can you share with us your wonderful journey as well?
Wonderful journey itu zaman dulu kita dapat pergi luar negara tu satu perkara yang yalah, sebab nak harapkan parents dulu tak ke ruang lah, jalan keluar. Jadi dengan sukan je kita dapat berasa. Tapi dalam satu lagi segi pula, kita dapat bukan macam zaman macam cycling dulu. Bukan saya acara track. Dulu zaman saya dulu kita tak ada velodrome. Macam kita tahu kan velodrome yang khas tu, stadium yang khas untuk cycling. Jadi kita tak ada velodrome. Jadi kita akan training terpaksa ke warm up di Bangkok. Jadi kita lalu ke sana. Jadi dia yang menyeronokkan, bukan yang saya rasa satu perkara yang menakjubkan lah sebenarnya. Sebab apa? Di Asia Tenggara ni dulu, masa zaman dulu, Bangkok dengan Jakarta dengan Filipina yang ada velodrome. Kita tak ada. Tapi yang menakjubkan tu because kita dapat pingat tau. Because first time saya masuk velodrome pun saya mengejutkan. Memang kata ini nak kayu kat sini boleh ke tidak tu. Bukan something yang macam dia macam ping kan. Bila sampai corner tu dia punya tu 45 degree tau, tinggi. Jadi kalau dia tak biasa, kalau dia tak ada cukup kelajuan, dia akan jatuh di melorot dia tu. Jadi memang nak, tapi mengejutkan because dalam kita tak ada tu, Malaysia tak ada pingat. Mana menunjukkan kekuatan ahli sukan kita. Maknanya dia fighting spirit tu ada. Kita tak ada pingat walaupun kita tak ada velodrome. Training pun sebab kita nak training kat sana pun bukannya berlebih selalu, bukan bajet besar. Dan besides ada lagi dalam masa keseronokan tu ada juga yang menduga ceritakan bila because saya nak cerita ni bukan apa dah. Because I don't know whether you all remember zaman dulu ada satu nama atlet Allahyarham Ali Hasan. He died on the ni tau. Dia meninggal masa tengah training. Actually yang menyedihkan kita tu bukan apa, dia punya semangat tu, sebab dia sebenarnya dia ada leukemia. Tapi tak seorang pun tahu. Even the parent pun dia tak bagi tahu. Sampai dia meninggal. Baru kita tahu yang dia sebenarnya selama ni dia sakit. Tapi dia memang raja bukit untuk Asia Tenggara. Dalam Asia memang dia kuat. Jadi memang dia susah nak lawan dia di bukit. Tapi itulah, dalam kita dia dah meninggal, baru kita tahu dia ada leukemia. Dia tahu, dia buat doktor, dia ada pergi buat rawatan, tapi dia takkan berhenti. Even the parents pun dia tak beritahu. Jadi itu semangat kentalnya atlet kita dulu ada. But another thing, lugu basikal ni dia tak macam sukan lain. Sorry lah, bukan lah kata nak condemn basikal. Ini zaman lain dulu lah. Because cycling ni satu sukan yang tough. Satu sukan yang tak semua, kalau dia tak betul-betul semangat, it's not easy go. Because you akan berkayuh beratus kilo, then you tak kira hujan, panas, tak kira dia tak ada main ekor-ekor, tak main atas jalan tu. Sebab saya sendiri pun hampir-hampir maut because of di panas petir. Sebab kita tengah training ni, mana boleh nak berhenti betul-betul. Dulu zaman dulu kalau area Bangi tu mana ada kedai, mana ada bangunan macam sekarang. Jadi kat tengah kayu, dari kiri kanan tu pokok getah, pokok sawit. Jadi orang tua pun dah kata kalau hujan kilat jangan duduk bawah pokok. Sebab tak ada stok kayu dia. Then dia kilat meletup betul selai. Itu antara yang tak tahulah nak katakan cerita menyeronokkan ke, tapi bagi saya walaupun keadaan tu menakutkan, walaupun keadaan tu, tetapi sometimes for us, yalah, tak semua orang yang dapat melalui benda tu. Jadi kita dapat melalui, jadi satu bagi saya satu kebanggaan bagi kami. Ya. Dan macam saya kata tadi, satu lagi macam sekali lah, cycling ni satu sukan yang mana background atlet dia kebanyakannya bukan yang ada latar belakang akademik. Ada yang tak boleh baca, ada yang tak boleh, that's right. Itu yang antara yang menyebabkan saya menanam matlamat untuk really do my study. That's why I dapat my diploma in sport psychology. That's why itulah yang akhirnya saya jadi mental trainer because of that. Itulah maksud ni.
Encik Amin, kita ada soalan dari viewers. Okey, apakah peristiwa yang memberikan kesan yang mendalam dalam hidup anda sebagai atlet sukan? Daripada saudara Syukri.
Ini adik ke abang ke apa? Okey, macam saya cerita tadi lah, antara kesan yang paling saya tak boleh lupa tu bila isu arwah ni Ali Hassan, yang mana because diorang boleh they keep to themselves tu, yang dia orang tu sakit just because dia nakkan apa tu, dia nakkan kejayaan. Sebab dia acara dia tu acara lebuh raya ni is very tough. Kalau kata start pukul 10 pagi, dia habis pukul 3 ke 4 pagi petang pun dalam kayu. Jadi bayangkan dengan keadaan dia sebagai yang sakit apa ni, leukemia. It's not that easy. Tapi saya tak tahu macam mana disimpan sampai dia meninggal. Itu pun dia meninggal, punca utama dia bila dia jatuh, kepala dia berlubang tau. Mana kepala dia kena batu. So antara itulah, tapi sebenarnya semua dan ni. Jadi itu yang menyebabkan agak terkesan lah. Memang kita, because actually there's a few. Another thing is masa kita preparation untuk ke Korea, bukan sekarang Asia, ke Korea, yang mana dulu kita boleh training di highway. Jadi highway ni bahaya sikit. Sebab apa? Kita bukan macam di Europe. Itu kita tak boleh nafikan lah. Di Europe kalau kata you tengah training, kereta bawa laju sebelah you ambil nombor dia cukup. Nanti lesen dia kena gantung. Di sini tak. Dia kena maki lagi dengan kereta. So what happened to this boy he's from Terengganu. Dia tengah kayu, dan suddenly dia punya rantai jatuh. Rantai dia terkeluar daripada ni. So dia wayang, and then dia jatuh. Dia bus express langkah, masuk depan keluar belakang.
Oh my god.
Jadi yang isu tu kenapa? Masa sepatutnya kita orang dah break camp masa tu, because the next day tu hari raya haji. Tapi because kita kata why, kalau kita dah break sekarang, kita dah ada momentum, kita dah lari semua kan. So we said no, we proceed. Itu dia ni, maknanya dia meninggal tu, the next day tu hari raya haji. So memang dia effect dia. Kalau kita pergi ke Korea memang tak ada macam-macam lah cerita masa tu kita dengar suara dia batuk dalam toilet, kita dengar dia batuk macam-macam.
Okay. Now Encik Mandijit, can you share your wonderful journey with us and memories?
Thank you. Very interesting. You hear Dato' Malik's insight and Chiang, the journey of being from a player to international level is not a why I say this is because I had a little experience of how I became a good international player because of I had a support from the school. We had the best dedicated coach during that time, Paul Rajasegaran, who helped me. At the school event, then I was selected to represent a club team called Majlis Pembangunan Klang. And to be honest, we are not highly paid. We only given an allowance of $10 per day. That was our income, and we have to manage the $10 for our transportation, our food, and our shoes cost. So that was a very interesting journey. But as we know, adversity creates character. All these things build our character and made us stronger towards the next journey. And then I also like to thank Coach C. Paramalingam and Coach C. Subramaniam, who gave me a platform to represent the state in National Under-21. And the tournament in Ipoh was eye-opening, and to all the national selectors, all the other top national players, suddenly they realized that, hey, who is this Mike that is playing for Selangor in the captain, and he's playing good hockey. And they have never seen me playing in the age group because I started the game too late, at the age of 15 and 16. At the national under-21, at the age of 17, they realized that this player is good, Mike, and then they selected me into the camp. And the best part is going to a senior team camp at the age of 18, and then you see all your gurus are there, all the legends are there, like Sarjit Singh, then you had Nur Saiful Zaini, Muhammad Abdul Hadi, then we had Ahmad Fadil in goal, then you had Beng Hai. So it was like, I'm only a puppy, a small puppy within the dogs, they say, hey, welcome to the team, but we are here and you are there, so please behave yourself. And it was a very challenging moment for me to being in the national team under head coach of Terry Walsh. But I realized one thing, that you have to fight for your place. It's not easy that just because you have a talent, you think you're a good player, your place is there. No. There were 25 best players in the country in that camp, and you have to fight. You have to fight not only on the field, you have to fight off the field. Because there will be a lot of challenges in the off the field. The senior players will put you a lot of pressure, and then sometimes they give you the difficult balls. These are small tricks. They give you a bumping ball so that you do mistake and you don't perform. So these are the small challenges. But I realized that it allows me to grow bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger, and to compete with them in the same power level as years to come. But I realized one thing in the camp, that at the end of the day, it's your mind. If you have a weak mind, I will tell you, you will leave the camp in an hour. But because we had a strong mind, and I was only focusing that mine was over matter, and I fight to get a place. And the player's pathway is very clear. You have to get to the junior team first, and then you made it to the senior team, and then you have to start from the bench. After from the bench, then you get into the first level, then you have to be consistent at that level. And then we also had a very good facility during that time, was Stadium Raja Muda. That is where the MSN was built. And that was a spot where I spent 8 to 10 hours every day, quietly, silently, training very, very hard without my senior players knowing that I was want to compete with them. And the next thing was, I realized, if you want to be in the national team or you want to play in international, you cannot be an average player. You must be special. That means you must have a special kind of character, a special style of play, and you are special to the team. For example, you must be a good penalty corner taker, which they need you. So these are the skills that I realize that is important to be in a team. And the most important thing is also your off the field character, how the way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you mingle with the team, the way you converse or communication with the umpires, with your team manager, with your coach. These are very important aspects. For me, the off the field is very, very important. That will bring the matter on the field. You perform very well on the field. These are the small milestones that made me a good junior player and a senior player, and I took on and serving the country for 15 years. That was a very interesting journey, but as I tell anybody who wants to play high performance sports, it's not easy. First thing is you have to sacrifice your youth life. You have to train minimum 8 to 10 hours a day, every day. There is no off day. There is no movie time, nothing. It's just focus, spend your time, rectify your mistake, convert your mistakes and your weakness into strength, and you become better player. And you must always put your benchmark higher and higher in every day. That's important. Yeah.
So, from here, I'm able to say that kenangan boleh memberi kesan baik and kesan buruk kepada kita. But then, end of the day, itulah menjadikan kita sebagai seorang atlet negara. And especially to these three panels, they do have their own ups and downs, memory yang suka, yang tidak suka, but then they love it, they cherished. So, Mr. Mandirjit Singh, you have a question from our viewers. Her name is Najiha. She would like to know that, Mike, sepanjang pembabitian anda dalam sukan hoki, perlawanan yang mana masih anda ingati? Maybe match yang paling mencabar?
Thank you, Nadia, for a good question. Sebagai seorang atlet sukan hoki, dia ada up and down. I think first I will share match yang a good match. We also have a bad match. Good match is we have beat, kita telah menewaskan Jepun 2-1 di Osaka pada tahun 2000 dan layak ke Sukan Olimpik Sydney. And beating Japan dekat rumah mereka dengan penyokong mereka, dengan kehadiran Perdana Menteri mereka, and then mereka dapat reward almost $1 million US kalau Jepun dapat menewaskan Malaysia. That was one of the biggest game that was tough, playing in Osaka in their home ground, and finally we won 2-1 and qualifying for Sydney Olympic. That was always a best match that I will remember. And the second best match is beating India 1-0 at extra time in Sukan Commonwealth 1998 at semi-final stage, and for the first time in the history that we qualify for the finals of Commonwealth Games. And it was so sweet because it was in Kuala Lumpur, and it was one of the best gifts that we have given to the country in terms of hockey. And the third most remembered match was to qualify for the 1996 Atlanta, and the matches was in Barcelona. But there is also some regret matches. Especially there was a tournament in Poznan, Poland in 1993, which we have to beat Belgium to qualify for the 1994 World Cup. Unfortunately, we lost that match, even though we were leading 3-1. And that defeat in 1993 was also a turning point for the team to know that confidence is always not a good, it's always a bad disease as a sportsman and for a team, because we were a better team than Belgium. But unfortunately, we lost the match against Belgium in 1993, and that was a real wake-up call, not only for the team, for all the stakeholders, that we have to be well prepared, and you can't go into sleeping mode in any minutes, and you'll be punished, and you'll be out of big events. And that is a sad part in my journey of 15 years. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Encik Mandirjit. And guys, as usual, I like to remind you all, jangan lupa share, like dan subscribe. Okay, Datuk, we have another question from student, from Nurul. Datuk, boleh kami tahu film atau muzik yang memberi kesan yang mendalam buat diri Datuk?
Wow, this is a very good question. there's part of music that we have to listen, the part of music, film that we have to listen to see. But in terms of the lifestyle or life as a sportsman, I used to look at the biography of the most successful athlete. It's like Carl Lewis and everything, how they train, how they eat, how they look after themselves. It become the athlete. You have to view other people athlete, how they train. You know, because not just thinking about yourself. I mean, it will help you to upgrade your thinking, upgrade your training, to give inspiration to your training, to become the dream. It become much more bigger. And I know it's harder to be successful as you know, cyclists or hockey players, and they become the top professional sport and high performance sport. It's not easy. It might say that 10 days, no. Slap. It takes 10 hours to train. Myself take 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening, and watch training with all the food that I have to look after. It's a lot of things you have to learn to become the high performance sport. So this why the failure is all come from you. The failure, don't blame anybody, don't blame the coach, don't blame sukan, don't blame MSN, don't blame ISN, but it all come from you, because what you do will reflect your training, reflect you're successful. But in terms of the lifestyle as a student, as an athlete, the athlete has to, I encourage to view the biography of the most successful personality in the world. Because we see, as I said earlier, Carl Lewis or whatever, so many popular top athletes in the world, but they are trained in different way and they get inspiration in different way. But the music, talking about the music, what music, the film, and for me, as I retire from the sport, I'm still training as usual, but not as heavy as before. But it's more like the keeping myself into good health and good shape, you know. And the music, of course, the training, the view of movie that I like now is watching the lifestyle, human lifestyle, the biography of the animal, biography of the how to become a good person, all about the good in health. You know, I mean, human, the most successful businessman, all the things about how to become the good in life. The movie. Very rare I'm saying that I'm watch a movie called Cinta Hati. That's why I like the movie that will help me to wake myself to be a better person in life. The music is really no more rock because I'm too old to consider it the rock. But in the music, I more listen to the opera because I'll be surprised and I'm a bodybuilder. I like opera. I like classic music. I like they call evergreen music, and also partly because I'm Muslim, I listen to the Dawah music more to praying to me in good health with the God, relationship with the God. And I believe every human being, every person has their own God, you know, and I think they must partly listen to what God has to say to you. I think it improve your lifestyle. Partly because for the student, my advice: improve yourself by using music that will help you to release your mind, to relax your mind after study. Because I'm sure, being a student, you're not going to face book 24 hours a day. That will strain your brain and you become stressed. Become stressed, you lose appetite, you lose interest of studying. But have the music, good music, select the good music because everybody has their own interest. What music does to you, it will help your mind matters. Right? This is part of me that I'm saying, don't push yourself too much, but push to the success, but give yourself time to relax into sport or into recreation sport, into sport, whatever. Everybody has interest, as I said earlier. But music will help you in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato'. So, dear Razakians, start from today, please choose a good music to improve yourselves. Okay, next. Encik Mandirjit, saya ada terbaca satu artikel tahun lepas, Julai, with headline, Skuad Hoki Negara tiada pemain berkualiti. Maybe Encik Mandirjit can elaborate more on it?
Thank you, Lisa. It was a statement, it's just a general statement about the standard of our current national team. As I always said, that we have to understand two different definitions as a high performance sports. Yang pertama is a definition of a national player and a definition of an international player. Is a two different gap between a national player and international player. Before my era of being in the national team in the 90s, we have a very good international team, especially in the 70s and the 80s. That time we were ranked 4th in the world in 1975 World Cup, and the gap between Malaysia and the rest of the world was so slim. Any good day a Malaysian team could bring the giant down or the world champion down. And then in the 90s and 2000 there was a little bit of slide. So we were still having a good international team during that time. We could still compete and consistently playing in World Cup and Olympics. For me, a good international team must be consistently playing in Olympics and World Cup at least every 4 years. Then we realized that now the Malaysian team has failed to qualify 5 Olympics in a row. Then we realized that the team that we have now, it could be only a national team, but it do not carry a good international standards. And the gap between the rest of the world and Malaysia, the gap is getting wider and wider in each day. And I realized that to be in Olympics, there's only the best 12 teams will get to the Olympics, and the team now has to produce international quality players rather than national players. That's the reason why I gave that general statement, because I want all the stakeholders, especially our sports school system, and then our national league, our junior league, and then our project squad and our national squad, we must start producing an international quality team. We just don't want to have a national team. Because if we have a national team, for me, I always define an international team is very simple. Every Olympic, the Malaysian team is qualifies and they also play in the World Cup. So once we reach in that level, that will indicate that we have a very strong international Malaysian hockey team. That's the reason why I gave such a statement, Lisa.
Okay, Encik Mandirjit Singh, now I get it more on the article. And also, Encik Mandirjit, what will be your advice to the current hockey players right now? What you would like to ask them to enhance or develop their skills?
If you compare our era and the current era, I think the current era has the best facilities in the world. If you look at our KL Sports City, we have the most beautiful hockey stadium in the world. And then we have ISN, who has full capabilities and facility to support, to provide sports science and technology aspect. And then also MSN working on funding and also a very detailed periodization plan. There is a plan from MSN and ISN and also from the MAC. But the issue here is I realized that the periodization plan of the national team is insufficient at this stage because we are not playing high quality matches against the world best. During our era, 1 year, minimum we have to play 40 to 50 international matches, but with the top 6 teams in the world. That was our requirement. We have to play with the Australians, we have to play with the Germans, we have to play with the Dutch, we have to play with the British, so that we get the best quality matches, and suddenly the team gets stronger and stronger and stronger. But if you play 40 to 50 international matches against the top 6 in the world, and then when you play the teams that is below 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it gets easier for you because you have played with the best and you have got the best sparring partner. And then suddenly when you play with the teams that is lower ranked like India, Pakistan, suddenly you realize that you can start beating them. So I think the most important thing is we need a very good periodization plan for the national team. And there's always a mantra in sporting world. He says the success of the senior team is always the junior team. Because if you want to know how strong is the current German team, you go back and see what the 5 and 8 years of their junior program. Because that will indicate the quality of the junior players that is coming to the senior team. And I realized that the current team only have 15 or 16 hockey players at the moment, which is not good because you need to have internal and external pressure in the national team. Example, you have 20 best players in the country fighting for the sport, and then you also have 20 good players waiting outside of the national team to come in, so that you have an external pressure. So when the senior players in the team realize that there is a large pool of international players that is waiting to come into the national team, that will uplift the standard of the team to a different level. And this will help the coach start making the best decision because he has enough resources to make a decision. And the coach will never make a compromise decision. And I realized the day you start compromising decision, you lose excellence. That is the price that you have to pay. And I realized if you get the small baby steps right, and at the end of the day, I think the most fundamental thing that is you need to get the right person in the right position. That is the most important aspect in success and implementation of any program. Thank you.
Well, I solely agree with Encik Mandirjit. Dato', from bodybuilder to a chef, boleh Dato' ceritakan kenapa Dato' pilih kulinari?
The question, that is the question, culinary, I'm not a cook. I'm not a chef. Even recently, I'm doing the advertising as called Chef King, which is the production of doing the Madu Kelulut, which is now in progress in 2 months, which is I'm the ambassadors of the Chef King. But I'm not a chef, but I can cook. That's definitely I can cook. But if you die, don't blame me. But actually, I like cooking. To my life, because even when I was in bodybuilding program, so no one is really cooking for me because I was bachelor at that time, and I was cooking myself, which is more into the healthy food, which is steak, chicken, steam. Most of my food will involve in steam and grill, and no salt, no ajinomoto, no nothing, just mostly plain with sprinkle of black peppers and things. But of course, when you come into sport, this is one thing people understand. The one thing lack of food is a lack of stamina and strength. But most, definitely some of the sportmen, they don't realize how much strong involvement food into the sport program. Which is I definitely follow the food that the food that I took is almost like 15 years, which is no salt, no thing, because I believe being a sportsman, you know what do you eat. Because being a sportsman, it's a different food because we have long distance running. We will need the energy. We need energy, with strength training, we need a powerful food, we give you strength. But they're all different food. That's why when you bodybuilder, you don't eat fish. You don't eat kambilis, you don't eat sayo. That's a partly selected food, that selected sport. That's my, the sportman understand. Mostly that's why the MSN now, lucky you are, they're providing the nutrition nutritionists and spread how to eat properly. But still, the athlete, we will choose toast bread with the egg, they go for nasi goreng. That is a viable thing. When you are a sportman, you eat like sportman. You sleep like sportman. You behave like a sportman. As Mike was saying, everything it must involve in the program. It must be you're looking after your character, you're looking after your food, you're looking after your social. Everything has to be looked under one roof to become success. We believe in Chong Wei, Nurul Huda, and Nicole David, all into the sport. Our chairman in the high days, our mind is only to become success. That's what I said. We don't even time to date girlfriend. By the time you murad me pun, I don't care. The time of girlfriend don't have time for TV, because recently by 10 o'clock you need to sleep. You have to have full time rest 8 hours. But the sportmen understand that sleep is playing very, very important role in sportmen, because you don't need good sleep and your training all become out. All things have to combine to become a success sportman. That's why now you have to look after yourself, definitely. The coach will look after you. The manager will look after you. You have to look after yourself. As a student, you also. They have to look after themselves. Nobody gonna push you to study. Nobody gonna push you to study. Nobody gonna look after you. Even your lovely mother, your father, not gonna come for you to study. Hey, anak, go study very hard. All you have to build. This is what to build. They call it build self-confidence. You have to be a strong will. The strong will a person, the strong will a sportman, they will be successful. I'm no worry about it. Because even now, still, even the retirement days, I go enjoy my life. I still look after my food. I still look after my life. But the thing is, in life, if you good to yourself, the life will good to you. That's not really a quote that we must understand. If you bet to yourself, you're gonna bet. This is how you treat your life, become a well-behaved person. To become successful, the sportman, the same thing. You have to put the wager as a sportman. Life as a sportman. Life as a bodybuilding. That it becomes life as a hockey player who dream about to become the top players in the world. Life to become the top cyclists in the world. You have to dream about it. Everybody must have a dream. Dream make you become the more determination, more conquer of your life, more discipline in your life, more strong will in your life. That's why don't take easy on life. I'm sorry. On this day, people take easy in life. Even the COVID-19, people take easy. No worry, the command will not attack me because I wear a mask. No, don't take like that. Don't take a chance. Don't take a chance in life. But make a chance in life and make a change yourself in life. Okay, thank you.
Also, the question?
Many questions boleh.
Okay, this is like personal question from me. Is it necessary a normal person, bukan athlete, have to maintain a healthy diet or how?
Yes, I say yes. Because whatever we have a food industry now, not everything is original. Every food from the can, from where it's supply, even they call it a fresh fish, it's fresh chicken, fresh beef, fresh thing, nobody knows. You go to the stall, Ajinomoto is available to just put to look good. Oh, taste the nasi goreng tastes very good. Oh, this rojak tastes very good. But what you need? But that's why, to become a student, being healthy is part of the region of you to become a good student. You have treat yourself in a good health, because now these days you can see young kid go with diabetes, young kid got heart attack, heart problem, young kid got so many disease now these days. This is COVID-19 Lucky we are pounding the vaccine now. But I think, don't forget, besides COVID-19, there's a lot of disease that are available now. You can choose whatever you want. By choosing what you want, just eat, don't eat properly. You got what you want. But that's why I said, I'm lucky, I'm 67, I'm still good. I'm an old antique car. But still good, but because I look after yourself. But every person in life should look after their food. There's so many things. If you study about nutrition, sometimes you want to eat whatever is available in Malaysia, in warung, scary. Too much roti canai, you become blopping. Too much rojak, you become bloat. You much Coca-Cola, you become diabetes. There is all eating is not too much. But you learn how to lead the sugar reasonable. Because you not, I don't say you not eat, but eat reasonably. But now these days, you TV football glass, kacang, jemput-jemput, goreng pisang, Coca-Cola, dan Teh Tarik, semua all in one. Tomorrow you got sick, you got jantung, kencing manis, darah tinggi, semua all in one also. But that's why I said, you can eat, but eat every 4 hours. Eat when you're hungry, but don't eat because you're not hungry. You want to eat because you enjoy your life. That's why you're going to enjoy your three stooges. Jantung, kencing manis. The highest thing, high blood pressure. Everywhere, everybody. It's Amin got blood pressure. No, we were joking. Everybody, but one thing about Malaysian people, when you ask them, you got a headache? No. That will collapse. You got high blood pressure? No. You got jantung? No. Everything? No. It's a part of culture in Malaysian. It's very malu to accept that he has the disease. You know, he has this problem, blood pressure, kencing manis, high blood pressure, jantung. Everybody. I sometimes you talk. I ask them, who has a kencing manis? Nobody raise their hand, oh, I have kencing manis. But when I give the phone number, they call me, bang, saya ada kencing manis lah bang, kenapa bang? We are very shy people to admit that we have a problem. But we have a problem, don't worry. Everybody can be cured by selecting your food properly. Myself, even I'm healthy, but I have the jantung. I mean, no, I take jantung. It was an E4. I have blood pressure. I have kencing manis, but everything now perfectly controlled because of the food. It doesn't matter what you student or not. You can have diabetes, or you can have selected yourself, because I think that all this disease is selected by yourself. No one give it to God, don't give it to you, but you good, you chose it. You choose it. It's true, very true. But thing is, when you got this problem, eat what is necessary. Learn. It's easy to Google. If I say that I have a gastric, what avoid? He doesn't know. You don't have nutrition to guide you. You go for Google. They said, what food is for the gastric? What food is for diabetes? What tablet for diabetes? Food is playing a very important role. You can, I don't care, you get condition, you can have the best doctor, you get the best nutrition, but the food is playing a role. Okay, yes. Thank you.
So, actually, two things I like to highlight from Dato's speech is that first, be good to your life will be of course. Second, healthy food. Yes, as a student, of course lah, kita suka makan fast food, one day KFC, following day McDonald's, you know, but then, end of the day, we need a healthy body and also a healthy mind in order to have a healthy lifestyle. So, we have an open question. There is a lack of interest in sport among youngsters nowadays due to other distractions. How do we overcome this? Is the sport associations doing enough? Are they getting enough support from the sport ministry? Any panel would like to answer?
Let me answer that one. I like to talk. No, sorry, I like to talk. Now, the MSN, the Kementerian Belia Sukan, and the ISN and the Sport Association playing a good role. Hockey players looking for the next generation. Bodybuilding and looking for the next generation. Now, the program is back to the down to the root to find the replacement. But I don't say, but now it's up to individual. If Mike doesn't like bodybuilding, how can I push him to become a bodybuilder? If Amin doesn't like cycling, how can I become the hockey player? But the interest is start from the elementary school. To become an athlete, to find out where is the interest of this kid. Are you interested in sport? Some people not interested in sport. But once some people are not interested in sport, it's no point we push them. No point we push them, because the way is pushing people is not because, oh, why you become a sportsman? Oh, I'm being pushed because I'm in elementary school. I don't like football. I like to become flower. To find the interest, when you see the interest of the young kid, and we develop from there. We have this. Remember, like when we were young, we had representing a school to inter-school, inter-district, inter-Johor State. This all part still going on. But the thing is, Bersatuan has to act more accurately to recruit the young sportmen from the elementary school. Because I was a footballer. I was in my school, the young days in my school. This is very interesting. My dream is start to become success. I want to be famous. That's my quote in my Darjah 1. I want to be famous. I berlakon. I acting stage. Every time stage, I win champion, the best actor. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tak apalah cerita Upin ke, I don't care what this is lah. But the thing, in sport, my interest in sport, in football, I'm 100 meters runner, sepak raga, Malik Noor, bola sepak Malik Noor, lompat pagar Malik Noor, rugby Malik Noor, semua Malik Noor. But then, I know my interest not become a footballer, but I'm good at football. I was playing with Motadari in Malaysia Sport Malay. Arwah Motadari and Santok Singh, that time my area, before I lived to US. And bodybuilding is partly I'm interested, but I don't know how to get through with it. I don't know how to get involved with it. I don't know how to get in touch with the Persatuan bodybuilding. Until I said 1985, 1983, I got involved in, I asked the person how to get involved in bodybuilding. But there's a lot of people, students, a lot of students in elementary school, even in high school, doesn't know where they're going. Even Chiang to find a cyclist, the replace cyclist, the people need to guide. The only people who can guide is Persatuan. MSN, ISN, they look back, because that's why the Sekolah Bukit Jalil is recruiting a lot of athletes. That's part of it. It's fine. If I want to say a hockey player look like Mike, I would find people who very much interested in Mike, look to be like Mike, to be into bodybuilding or into hockey, into a cyclist. Then I pick up them, I train them. This is how they should do. But I think to get involved in sport is one thing of their mind. Because sport is so many high performance, recreation. It must starting from somewhere. But when it start from somewhere, that's how we pick up the talent. Okay?
Can I add on this?
Yeah, sure, Encik Mandirjit.
To be honest, the current generation has massive distraction because I can vouch it, because I have 3 children, and now with all the gadgets, with technology, with the internet world, even the food nowadays comes to the house with Food Panda and all that. I think every child only walks about less than 5,000 steps a day. I realize that the obesity level at the young generation is getting higher and higher day by day. I realized that in our country, especially Malaysia, I have to be honest, that our sporting culture, the percentage of sporting culture in this country is still not at the required level in this country, I will say. And for sure, if we go back and see what's the issue, the issue here is it starts from the house. At the end of the day, is the house managed by the father and mother. If they inculcate sporting culture into the family, and then he tells every evening the child has to go for either cycling, or he has to go to the gym, or he has to go for a walk or go for a run. The sporting culture in this country, we have not reached to the optimal level or required level, and it starts in the house. If you look at today, especially in my place where I'm living, 5 to 7 used to be a peak period for every child to spend at the playground or a field. But today I realize at 5 to 7, the mama stalls are more crowded than the fields. The fields are all empty. The infrastructure is there, the playgrounds are there, all within walking distance. But the mama stall, full. No chair, full. Because they just need a gadget, they need the internet, and they spend time there. And the fields are empty. It's a dilemma in this country. I want to be honest on that one. And then if I say, look at the ministry and the government, I think they have put in a lot of effort now compared to our era or during Dato' Malik and Amin. Now they have a very good schooling system. They got PLDs, they have state sports school, they have national sports school, then they have junior program by the association, then ISN is supporting well, KBS is getting involved, ISN there. The structure is there. Only one major issue that I realized that is sports at school is deteriorating, to be honest. And I have realized now even a physical education is done on a theory basis. I was shocked because when my son came back from school, I asked him, did you enjoy your physical education today? Our time we used to play football, we used to play sepak takraw, we used to play badminton, and then there was a sports equipment there was a sports teacher involved there, and we used to have a padang, and we enjoy ourselves. Once we finish our school, we still continue playing. But today, all these things doesn't exist, and they're doing physical education, theory, in a classroom. It doesn't make sense. For me, I realized to rectify the sporting culture, it starts at home and it starts in school. If you get these two areas well, then you will get a sporting culture at the top level. These sports, I will say, is like drugs. Until today, when you come at 5 o'clock, my body will urge to go for a run, or he will urge me to do something to sweat. That is what sports is. And sports builds character. It gives you to perform under pressure. Because like us taking a penalty corner or taking a stroke, there's about 1 billion people watching on TV. There's 60,000 people in the stadium. That is a test for you. You have to perform with pressure. And sports builds character, builds unity in this country. So I realized at school, the sports is still not at its best. And then I think many years ago, there was an idea by the Ministry of Education, which was Satu Murid, Satu Sukan. That was a brilliant idea, was mandatory, was compulsory. That means every child in the school has to pick one sport, what they like. And that was a brilliant idea, but all of a sudden now it's no longer there. And now because of the pandemic, the COVID, and they have not attended the school enough, now I realize, and I have, as a father, I have to make sure my 3 kids, they are physically fit, because through sports, it gives you a healthy body mind. Then only the education, the way they study, the way they look at matters are differently. That's my view.
Thank you, Encik Mandirjit.
Nama dia.
Amin dan Siaran.
Ya, sure.
Sorry, sebab mengacau kan kalau dia.
Tak apa.
Okey, berbalik pada isu sekolah tadi. Yang pertama saya tengok, I agree with Mike. Because sekarang ni, kalau you tengok zaman kita dulu kan, kalau sukan tu the whole year. Sekarang dia punya konsep dah berubah. Sukan hanya must settle by Jun. Because another part dia akan jadi study. Jadi I think macam orang kata lepaskan batu tangga tau. Dia buat sukan pun just cepat 4 bulanan ni dah habiskan bulan 6. Sebab apa? Lepas ni kita dah fokus pada study. I think dah tak kena. Because problem sekarang bukan apa, macam saya kata tadi lah, sukan ni sekarang ni dah boleh dikatakan sebagai sebahagian daripada boleh katakan survive lah, boleh hidup dengan bersukan. Dulu mungkin tak ada peluang, tapi sekarang I think you can hidup dengan sukan. Okay, yang kedua pula satu lagi saya tengok budaya apa tu. Kita punya budaya dulu kita selalu diwawarkan ayat apa, jangan tanya apa negara boleh buat pada kita, apa yang kita boleh dapat daripada negara. Patut kita tanya apa yang kita boleh bagi pada negara. Saya rasa budaya itu dah tak ada. Sebab apa? Satu lagi budaya, I agree lah, sukan ni kena bermula daripada sekolah, daripada sekolah rendah lagi. Sebab apa kalau you tengok in Korea, China, Japan, budaya menghormati. You tengok kan kalau Jepun, kalau height dia mana di Jepun kan dia tunduk, dia tak kira dia kenal dia pun dia tetap tunduk. Mana dia respect among each other tu very very strong
Attitude.
Tapi budaya tu mesti bermula daripada sekolah. Dia tak boleh umur dah tua ni tak kena dia tak umur tu. Dia mesti start daripada awal. Saya bawa budaya ni kenapa? That's why dulu, that's why China, Japan dan Korea, even China lah especially, dia sekarang di Olimpik dia dah juara tau. Korea, Japan pun dalam antara
Top 6
antara negara yang kuat dalam sukan. Dan saya selalu cakap dengan orang, actually budaya tu yang menyebabkan orang bagus. Dia orang pun modern juga. Dia orang pun ada juga rock, dia punya dengan rambut kuning, dengan rambut orange dan semua ada. Tapi the way they respect ni, because budaya tu lah, budaya respect ni bila dia bawa pada sukan. You pernah dengar tak Korea, China ke Jepun ke, player dia against the coach? Because the respect tu, macam mana you teruk ke apa, the respect still there. You buat kat Malaysia, bukanlah kata saya, tapi you marah lah, you marah ke terajang ke boleh, you tengok kerja lagi lawyer datang.
Saman.
Malino datang.
Sponsor.
Jadi coach pun macam tak berapa seronok nak kerja. Macam di sana tak ada. Because dia dah budaya kasar ni, bukan kasar tapi budaya yang apa ni, I think it's a very good budaya. How to respect. Because sekarang ni dah mula kurang. Saya kadang-kadang atas jalan raya lah saya kena. Dah saja tengok kalau kata satu jalan dia kecil, bagi satu kereta lepas, saya tunggu tengok dia angkat tangan tak? Jarang yang angkat tangan, terima kasih. Dia lalu macam tu, dia tak tahu macam dia kata you respect. Jadi saya kadang suka buat tu, saya tengok kadang saja dia kalau saya lah angkat tangan dia. Because dah tak ada tau, budaya menghormati tu dah tak ada.
Etika, menghormat dah tak ada.
Jadi bukan budaya tu penting kalau sukan. Jadi you kena respect your coach, you kena respect your management. Jadi kalau ni dia tak ada budaya tu, dia start no disiplin. Satu lagi I bukanlah kata apa, I rasa di student ni bukan kebanyakan akan jadi pada akan go to media ni dengan media main peranan penting dalam dunia sukan. Kadang-kadang suka tengok, jangan suka keluarkan isu-isu yang macam isu-isu bila kena atlet ni kena tangkap apa rogol ke apa, then isu will be blast like hell. Keluar 1 bulan dia boleh keluar. Tapi
betul.
kalau kata isu Malaysia menang mungkin dah keluar dalam 2-3 hari lah lepas tu sejarah. I think dia by next week dah tak ada lagi cerita. Dah tak keluar lagi dah cerita dia. Tapi kalau kata cerita atlet tu ditangkap bercium ke atau macam cakap kata, dia will come out the whole 1 month. Jadi motivation tu tak ada. Saya harap lepas ni kita ubahlah budaya yang menceritakan tentang kebaikan, tentang cerita tentang, because saya pernah because I'm orang yang more on psychology. Jadi I bila jumpa atlet, I like to talk about apa ni, how you, macam mana you punya zaman dulu. I suka tanya tau. Then I told the reporter, tapi dia seems like kita yang tu dia tak berminat dengan tari. Bukan nak contoh dia kan, you remember dulu kita angkat berat sama Ali. Kau cerita dia dulu masa tu, dulu daftar masa training latihan pusat, dia punya allowance RM3.
Ya.
You bayangkan dia orang kat berat tu, macam tentu balik orang. Makan di email tu cukup lah.
Kamu boleh cukup makan kaki ayam ni.
That's what happened. Because what they did, because last time, because pusat latihan dulu di Kampung Pandan. So, what they then, bila dia orang nak makan sedap, so they will walk from Kampung Pandan to satu kawasan pusat makan dia orang namakan benteng di Basteng Kelang. They walk all the way, and they walk usually dalam pukul 11 lebih lah. So I say, what's so late? Because sampai sana, they got one guy jual mi soto. Itu mi soto kan dia korek, dia ni ada daging ayam tu kan. So dia datang pukul 11 lebih tu because that time kedai tu dah tak tutup. So they went for the tulang. So the pakcik dah rebus tulang tu, then dia makan mi. And then usually dia bagi free lah because to the parent. That level no, national athlete, pemenang pingat emas di sukan si Jakarta. Terpaksa makan dia tu. Dan satu lagi, dia respect the apa tu sing tu punya apa kuil kat sebelah stadium tu. Bekas Atlet tu. Sorry, Komandan. Because that kuil tu, kalau ada orang kahwin, dia akan buat capati ekstra tu. Because dia tahu atlet dalam tu ada. Dia orang tak cukup makan. Nasib baik ada kuil. Kalau tidak, Saturday adalah makan lebih sedap sikit. So sampai that level tu. And I told the reporter, nobody wants to pick up. Because for them, kita tu tak carry weight lah. They're more than looking for yang kalah ni, dia suka cerita. Dia ni kalah sebab apa, ada ni lari daripada camp, tak tahu cerita. I think kita kena ubah daya. Boleh lah keluar, tapi sikit-sikit lah. Kita more tu ni, yang penting-penting ni, biar dia keluar dulu. Kalau saya harap boleh lah bila you sampai di level ni, try to ubah daya. Thank you.
Thank you Encik Amin. Actually betul juga apa Encik Amin bagi tahu. Budaya dan adab ni sangat penting. Like tak kisahlah sebab kita educate level mana pun, degree holder, PhD, but tak ada budaya adab, no one will gonna respect us. And also end of the day, it's all determination and what we think, apa yang kita nak, and also what our interest in it. Okay, Encik Amin, we have a question from one of our student. Apakah nasihat untuk menjadi seorang yang berjaya dalam sukan berbasikal? From Hidayat.
Oh, Hidayat. Ini bukan Hidayat yang berat ni.
Ini Hidayat angkat buku je.
Angkat buku. Okey. Untuk dia sebenarnya not only basikal lah. Bagi saya semua. Dia sukan dia actually apa ni, yang pertamanya minat. Because I think dia pun balik pada budaya juga lah tu. Kalau budaya sukan tu bagus, then apa ni, sebab to be frank with you, sukan basikal ni bukan satu sukan yang it's quite tough. Jadi you kena satu minat yang betul-betul minat yang dalam lah dalam sukan ni. Jadi kalau untuk menjadikan you kena banyak buat research. Because sekarang ni kita dah macam-macam ada apa ni, ada source yang boleh you check. Mana you boleh tengok video, you boleh tengok YouTube, dan you tengok actually dengan banyak membaca, then you will create minat yang dalam. Because macam Azizul dengan dulu pun dia pun jenis yang you have to look for idola. Macam mungkin sekarang ni you tengok Azizul, how dia naik, macam mana dia naik, bila tengok dia berkayu, bila tengok dia menang, then your semangat will be there. Sebab jadi macam saya kata tadi lah, kita kena cari benda-benda yang baik, cari benda-benda apa ni, yang kemenangan,
positif.
Yang cari dia kalah. Bila kita baca tentang dia kalah, memang you tak minat. Jadi you kena banyak membaca. Bukan saya kata apa, when I give a talk to athlete, usually team game lah, especially football lah. Bukan sekarang ni kita dah ada zaman dunia pro dengan zaman dunia zaman sekarang profesional. To be frank with you, saya suka compare figure ni antara dunia pro dengan dunia amateur in football lah kata. Zaman kita dulu, zaman dulu, kita football ke apa pun, kebanggaan kita is time off. There's no yang tidur, yang dah dapat main hoki, orang tu tak ada. Zaman kita tu time off. Dapat balik pukul 3 tu, semangat tu tinggi. Tapi you must remember, you compare macam ni lah. Dalam satu hari ada 24 jam. You train in the morning 2 hours, and then you train in the evening 2 hours, 4 hours. Tolak 24, tinggal 20 jam. Dari 20 jam, tidur 8 jam. Dah tinggal 12 jam. Sampai kira 12 lagi, kira 10 jam. What do you do untuk create, untuk jadi seorang atlet yang baik? Apa you buat? Ada tak yang baca? Ada tak you tengok pergi library, atau pergi tengok video, antara game-game yang ni? Ada tak you buat benda tu? Tapi sekarang ni compare dengan amateur. Amateur, dia dulu pagi dia kerja sampailah pukul 3, dan dia balik training. Dia training, and then habis training, badan dah penat, tadi kerja, and then lepas tu balik malam dia tidur. Bukan dia sampai balik rumah dia penat, lepas tomorrow dia dah sambung balik kerja. Okey, yang saya nak sampaikan ni adalah, bila you bekerja, that means you are using your brain. Mana ada orang yang kerja tidur? Orang bila bekerja, dia akan start thinking what to do. Even masa dulu Arumugam, dia dulu kerja hantar surat, dia tu think. Takkan dia duduk, dia orang bagi surat dia folder, dia nak tahu kat mana jalan, bila dia nak pergi. So dia kena, by the time pukul 3 dia dah boleh balik. Jadi apa yang nak sampaikan dia ni adalah, their brain is active. That's why, to be frank with you, kalau you tengok dulu punya game, dia menarik tau, because permainan dia orang teratur. They are all a thinking player, because their brain is moving. That's why I selalu cakap kepada budak sekarang, come on, you ada banyak masa, what do you do? Don't dah just shopping, dating, atau baru-baru kan. Sekarang ni, what do you do untuk upgrade yourself? Itu yang paling berat yang kita nak kena buat, because you have to discipline yourself. Because apa yang tengok macam dulu, contoh dia, kalau selalu bagi ni tau, contoh dia macam Malaysia menang dengan Korea in qualifying Olympic 1980. Asal Sani, bila dia lari, dia dalam sekelip mata dia boleh terfikir, dia terus tolak ke James Wong. Dia tak ada nak buat lari seorang-seorang tu. Biasanya dia boleh lari seorang, kalau dia dah beat WD. Tapi dia tak terus pada James Wong. Because I personally jumpa James Wong di Sabah, I tanya dia, how do you score macam tu? Dia sendiri pun tak dapat ni tu. Dia kata dia pun tak terfikir apa yang dia buat. Because bola sampai dekat dia, kalau dia terus shoot, tak masuk. Because belakang ada Korean coach, Korean defense. So dia tarik pun tak dia tu, baru dia shoot. Kalau dia tak buat tarik tu, that means dia takkan goal. I don't think so it's a goal, because the defense there. Tapi dia maknanya dia pemikiran dia dalam spontan, dia dapat fikir yang cepat tau. Itu yang kita katakan kadang budak-budak sekarang, they have to do something to make their brain moving. Dia dah tak boleh orang kata keras dia,
Being creative.
be creative. That means they have to make their brain active. Okay? Itu yang saya boleh cakap.
Thank you, Amin. Well, I have to agree with Encik Amin yang sebagai pelajar, lagi-lagi youngsters, we have to make ourselves active. Bukan aktif sekadar badan dia, but also active as in mind. So buatlah pandai menguruskan masa, and then try to engage with a lot of positive activities which benefit our own self. So, okay, we have any last questions from the viewers? Okay, we have another open question. Numerous of sport activities are limited due to the pandemic. What is your advice on how we stay motivated with what we love in sport despite the circumstances? From our student Amar Azlan. Any panelists would like to answer? Encik Amin.
Okay. Dia, yang ini, for me, you kena anggap bukan tu actually untuk menyihatkan badan. Jadi maknanya kalau sekarang dia kata, maknanya you have to make it sports ni mengembirakan. Yalah, untuk to make, actually sekarang ni yang penting ialah you have to keep fit, because you dah tak boleh buat apa-apa. So kalau jadi you have to make it, you have to enjoy it, you have to enjoy the sports. Jadi you have to make enjoy the sport. Dalam masa sama you fikirkan dengan enjoy ni, you are making yourself sihat. Sebab kalau you must remember yang masalah sekarang ni yang kena sejak zaman pandemik ni ialah banyakkan dia orang macam tertekan, tak boleh keluar, tak boleh ni. Jadi you have to fight back tau dia punya tekanan tu. Maknanya antara dia tu lah, maknanya you have to make it enjoy. You have to enjoy again. You have to enjoy apa yang you buat. Kalau tidak, then no point. Dan you set matlamat lah. Maknanya mungkin kalau kata seorang yang I nak cuba jadi orang yang bodybuilder kata. Jadi mungkin dia buat dan dalam masa yang sama dia akan nampak your body naik ke apa. Then it will jadi nampak satu benda yang inilah. Baru ada kesan kalau tidak you akan down dan susah. Okay?
And also Encik Amin, boleh tak Encik Amin explain basically what does Yakib function to our students?
Bila dah cerita pasal sukan ni, memang kita dah lupa. Okey.
Dia jaga orang tua-tua.
Sebab selalu cerita tu sakit mati
Itu jaga orang tua.
Okey, Yakib ni ditubuhkan pada 2007 actually. Jadi ditubuhkan untuk menjaga kebajikan bekas-bekas Atlet Negara. Untuk menjadi ahli Yakib, dia mesti sekurang-kurangnya pernah mewakili negara ke sukan si. Jadi buat masa ni kita dah ada dekat 3,000 ahli untuk apa ni. Jadi itulah antara yang kita tawarkan untuk daripada Yakib ni adalah terutama sekali ialah dia punya kesihatan. Mana skim kesihatan kita, sport hospital. Tapi sekarang ni dulu kita ada dengan hospital swasta. Tapi sekarang because of the kekangan kewangan, so kita dah menjurus ke hospital kerjaan. Tapi dalam masa yang sama, kalau macam masuk hospital kerjaan, kalau kata ni nak masuk besi, kita kan nak operate ni. Jadi hospital kerjaan tak akan tampung. So kita akan support. Apa pun kita akan cuba bantu. Macam mana sekali kita akan cuba bantu. Even dalam hospital kerajaan pun kita dah dapat daripada JPA, lulusan dari JPA yang kita apa ni seakan-akan kita yang kerajaan juga. Maknanya kalau dia masuk ward, dia akan masuk ke kelas 2.
Cutting the cost.
Kita terpaksa kelas ahli bertambah. Jadi kita pun terpaksa terima lah kenyataan yang dalam keadaan ekonomi sekarang it's not easy kita akan nak dapat duit.
Betul tu.
Sakit pening kepala bukan ubat je.
Kita cuba tolong bagi Panadol. Untuk pengetahuannya sejak even last 2 days ada seorang lagi atlet meninggal. Dia meninggal atas padang bekas ni apa ni. Jadi referee bola. Talian from Penang meninggal tu. Jadi bila dia meninggal tu kita ada bagi skim
sumbangan
kematian yang jumlah buat masa ni kita bagi dalam 3,000 untuk waris. Di samping tu ada lagi hal lain mana kita macam dari segi ada nak sambung pelajaran, kita ada bagi macam insentif untuk pelajar. Itulah antara yang kita ni apa yang kita boleh support kan.
Boleh tambah?
Boleh Datuk, boleh.
Saya sebagai orang tua-tua di
Kita former chairman
Bantan of the pengurusi, we are doing the best to help you. Lucky we have atlet Yakib to help kata orang sedikit sebanyak membantu kos perawatan, perubatan yang mana kita mampu lah. Mesti ingat Yakib bukanlah kata satu yayasan yang buat duit. Kita mengadakan dermawan daripada orang-orang yang derma pada kita, persatuan swasta yang ingin menerima pada kita, silakan derma untuk kekenangan, untuk membantu ahli-ahli Yakib dalam kesusahan. Jadi mesti ingat kita sebagai atlet, sebagai ahli Yakib, sabarlah. Kalau ada kemampuan berjuta-juta, kita masukkan you first class. Heaven pun kita boleh masukkan. Jadi kita mengingat kita ada menanggung 3,000 atlet yang lain yang banyak kita jaga. Tapi itu kita jangan kita kata orang beri sama dengan atlet yang baik, membantu menolong dari segi costing, mana-mana swasta yang ingin menerima pada Yakib kita akan welcome kan.
Pada masa ni kita terima kasih pada Kementerian Kewangan. Dia masa dia bagi kita tak ada special fund, tapi dia setiap tahun kita mohon dan alhamdulillah lah sempat dulu.
Thank you Datuk and Encik Amin. And we are at the end of our session. So, any kata-kata terakhir for our students? From our panels, any kata-kata terakhir or advice for our students?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Just remember one thing, you're only young once in your life. And the most important time of your life is the 10 years. The 10 years is 20 to 30 years old. Why I say these 10 years is very important, because these 10 years will determine your next 30 or 40 years of your life. Because these 10 years is a lot of major decisions you make in your life. Example like high performance sports, whether you want to play high performance sports, do you want to get your first degree, who do you want to get to marry to, that's also important, who's going to be your wife, your first house, your first job, your career and all that. These 10 years is very important. On top of that is also 10 years is called a volcano age. A lot of distraction. You got a lot of girlfriends, you have a lot of movie to watch, you got a lot of dancing to do, a lot of activities. So you have to balance the lifestyle distraction, and on top of that, your goals. If you do well in these 10 years, I will say that 90% for your remaining years of your life will be smooth and a comfortable journey. These are a very small advice from me to all the students. Thank you very much.
And Datuk, any advice? Nasihat?
My nasihat, my advice is, the life in this world now, you are bound to be choose good and bad, but whatever come to good, it's all in your hand. You make the best as student, because your time, life is getting more difficult now, but choose a life, it's only good thing. Think good, feel good, choice the good thing, listen to good thing, improve your everything in life is only the word called good. When you come to life and you train yourself to become good, your life is there to will help you. And I hope it's the best. And I pray for all of you students to become success. Ingat, life is not easy. Life need determination, life willpower. Life is all in your hand and your mind. State your life as a good person.
And last advice from Encik Amin.
Okay, saya setiap kali sebelum saya ni, bila saya jumpa atlet di Sukma, kalau Sukma ni adalah mudah-mudahan manja on the wall. Ayat yang paling saya akan sampaikan adalah sebelum turun ke belakang, jangan lupa minta orang kata mohon restu daripada mak bapak. So please, jangan lupa mak bapak selalu doakan dia orang, and then insyaAllah Tuhan akan memudahkan kerja you. Apa sekalipun jangan lupa mak bapak. Thank you.
Thank you, my dearest panelists, and I hope our students, Razakians, you get what you have to get. And then thank you very much again to our panelists for coming to UNIRAZAK. Terima kasih juga diucapkan kepada Prolintas dan Yayasan Kebajikan Bekas Atlet yang sudi berkolaborasi dan menjayakan session bersama UNIRAZAK. And of course, not to forget our viewers, especially Razakian. Although it is online, you guys great, you stayed on. Sirih pinang dicalit kapur, ditepak tersusun, elok sekata. Andai terkurang, tersilap tutuh, jari disusun, maaf dipinta. On behalf of the organisers, saya memohon maaf atas kekurangan kami session sepanjang ini. And yes, stay home, patuhi SOP and take care. Bye guys.
Dalam